Hello and welcome to the iNews Special Bulletin. I am Tejaswin Alam. Let's take a look at the headlines first. Reports show a substantial drop in corona cases in Telangana. Are the numbers for real? Will people's worst nightmare come true? Will the lockdown be extended? COVID-19 protection for 1,000 rupees. Adar Poonawalla of Serum Institute of India promises affordable corona vaccine. Yet another industry crippled by the coronavirus pandemic. This time it's real estate. COVID-19 could result in unwanted pregnancies, says UNPF. And now for the news in detail. The Telangana state has seen a significant drop in corona cases over the last week. The total number of cases in Telangana has reached 1,016 and the increase has slowed down considerably. We now have only 7 new corona cases yesterday. It was 6 the day before and 2 the day before that. Now, these numbers have public wondering, what are the reasons for the remarkably low numbers? Is it the lockdown? If the answer is a yes, how is the lockdown in Telangana different from restrictions everywhere else? Is there something that Telangana is doing right and the others are not? What is the secret? Or on the other side, are the testing numbers very, very low? If you look at the states like AP, Gujarat or Delhi where testing has been extensive, you can see the difference in numbers. As of yesterday, AP reported testing 88,000 people and Gujarat has tested more than 56,000 people. But Telangana has tested only 19,200 odd people. Now the question here is the good news that the government has been giving really good, or is it just creating false hope? Now the answers are all something that we're waiting for. In more political news about the pandemic, opposition leaders and the elected representatives of all parties have met the Chief Secretary of State Somesh Kumar. The agenda of the meeting was about to ask him why the opposition leaders were not being included in decisions being taken about the pandemic.
భవన నిర్మాణ కార్మికులకు కూడా సహాయం అందించడానికి నిధి రెడీగా ఉంది. దాన్ని ఉపయోగించుకోమని మినరల్ ఫండ్ నుంచి వైద్య ఆరోగ్య శాఖ పరీక్షా కేంద్రాలను పెంచడానికి, ఎమర్జెన్సీ సౌకర్యాలను విస్తృతపరచడానికి వాడుకోవచ్చునని కేంద్ర ప్రభుత్వం చెప్పింది. మన దగ్గర నా అంచనా ప్రకారం సుమారు 4,000 కోట్ల రూపాయల నిధి ఉంది. దాన్ని సరిగ్గా వాడుకోమని చెప్పి మేము కోరుతా ఉన్నాం. ట్రాన్స్పోర్ట్ నడవటం లేదు, మరి ట్యాక్సీలు కానీ అదేవిధంగా లారీలు, డీసీఎంలు ఇవేమీ నడవట్లేదు. ఈ త్రైమాసికానికి వాహనం పన్ను కట్టాలని ఒత్తిడి పెడుతున్నారు. అది మేము కట్టలేము. మీరు ఆ విషయంలో కూడా మేము చీఫ్ సెక్రటరీ గారికి చెప్పినాం. ఈ త్రైమాసికానికి వాహనం పన్నును రద్దు చేయండి అని చెప్పి కోరినాం.
రాష్ట్రంలో రైతులు ఎదుర్కొంటున్నటువంటి సమస్యలను పరిష్కారం చేయాలని చెప్పని సవివరంగా తెలియజేస్తూ, రైతుల అప్పుల మాఫీకి ప్రభుత్వం గతంలో హామీ ఇచ్చి ఉంది కనుక వెంటనే అప్పుల మాఫీ చేయాలని చెప్పనేటువంటి డిమాండ్ను చేయడం జరిగింది. అదేవిధంగా తెలంగాణ ఉద్యమ సమయంలో ముంబై, భివండి, గల్ఫ్లో ఉండేటువంటి కార్మికులకు తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రం ఏర్పడిన తర్వాత న్యాయం చేస్తామని చెప్పన్న 6 ఏళ్ళైనా కానీ నేడున్నటువంటి పరిస్థితులలో తీవ్రమైనటువంటి బాధలలో, ఇబ్బందులలో ఉన్నారు కనుక వాళ్ళను తిరిగి తీసుకొచ్చే విధంగా కార్యక్రమాన్ని తయారు చేయాలని చెప్పిన విషయాన్ని కూడా ఈ ప్రభుత్వాన్ని డిమాండ్ చేసినాం.
చాలామంది నిరుపేదలకి వేరే ఎటువంటి పని చేసుకునే అవకాశం లేదు. మీరు కేవలం 1,500 రూపాయలు ఒక కుటుంబానికి ఇవ్వడం ఇది సరిపోదు. ఒక కుటుంబంలో 4 అంటే 40 రోజుల లాక్డౌన్లో మీరు ఇచ్చింది మనిషికి 400 రూపాయలు. ఇది సరిపోదు, ఇది న్యాయం కాదు, ఇది అమానవీయం. మీరు ప్రతి కుటుంబానికి నెలకి 5,000 రూపాయలు బీపీఎల్ కుటుంబాలకు ఇవ్వాలి. రేషన్ కార్డు కోసం అప్లై చేసుకున్న వాళ్ళు రేషన్ కార్డు రాకున్నా వాళ్ళకి ఇవ్వాలి.
ఒక హెల్త్ ఎమర్జెన్సీ రాష్ట్రంలో ఉన్నది, కానీ ప్రభుత్వము కోవిడ్ చుట్టే పరిమితం చేస్తూ వందలాది మంది ఇవాళ గుండెపోటుతో పక్షవాతంతో షుగర్ ఎక్కువై చచ్చిపోతున్నటువంటి పరిస్థితి కూడా మనందరికీ తెలుసు. ముఖ్యంగా ఆరోగ్యశ్రీ ఏ హాస్పిటల్లో కూడా పనిచేయడం లేదు. ఇవాళ ఏ హాస్పిటల్లో కూడా ఆరోగ్యశ్రీ తను తీసుకోవడం లేదు. చాలా ప్రమాదంలో ఉన్నది. ఆ విషయాన్ని వారికి గుర్తుకు తీసినాము. కేవలం ఈ ప్రభుత్వ ఉద్దేశపూర్వకంగా మాత్రమే తక్కువ చేసి చూపెడుతున్నది. ఈ రాష్ట్రంలో కరోనా పాజిటివ్ల సంఖ్య ఇంతకంటే డబుల్ ఉంటుంది. కానీ ఒక అంశం అయితే మీకు ఇంకొక విషయం కూడా చెప్తామన్నా, కరోనా పాజిటివ్ అనగానే అదేదో ప్రమాదం జరిగినట్టుగా చూపెట్టవలసినటువంటి అవసరం కూడా లేదు. కరోనా మనతోటే ఉంటుంది. ప్రపంచ ఆరోగ్య సంస్థ స్పష్టంగా చెప్పింది. ఇది ఇంకొక ఇప్పటితో ఒడిచేది కాదని.
Corona is disrupting the heavens too. First it was Ramzan, then it was Chardham, and now the Tirumala is bearing the brunt. The Tirumala temple has remained closed to prevent the spread of the virus. Speaking to the media, Mr. Anil Kumar Singhal said that the temple may not open for pilgrims after the May 3rd. He stated that the government is still to decide when the devotees can visit the temple. The Padmavati Parnay Utsavalu, which were supposed to be held between May 1st and 3rd, have also been postponed. The frustrations for people seem to continue. The centre on Wednesday gave clear indications that the ongoing nationwide lockdown will be extended beyond May 3rd, but they said that there will be considerable relaxations to people and services in many districts. Now, we are not sure about the numbers, but the Union Home Ministry has released a statement allowing migrant workers, pilgrims and students who are trapped in different states to go home. The states have been advised to move them in buses, so we wouldn't have rail transport as yet. Now, in the same line as continuing the lockdown, the centre is also mulling more relaxations in the green zones and orange zones. But at the same time, it's also looking to impose sterner restrictions in the red zones. BJP Minister Kishan Reddy stated that the public transport may not be available anytime soon, although some buses will run, and it will definitely take time for trains and planes to be accessible. So we are still technically under lockdown. Now, for more news from the centre, the Union Home Ministry issued fresh guidelines for interstate movement to allow stranded migrant labourers, tourists and students so that they could return home. These guidelines will come into effect from the 4th of May. Under these guidelines, there will be considerable lockdown relaxation in many districts, but so far only interstate movement of essential commodities has been allowed, and migrant workers could only travel within city limits, that too if they had no symptoms of the coronavirus. The fresh guidelines, however, say that people can return to their hometowns after undergoing thorough medical screening at both source and the destination cities. The government also directed states to organize thermal testing units and quarantine facilities in order to clear any asymptomatic cases before sending them back. This movement or this allowance of movement comes with a caveat. It is restricted only to those people who are currently in the non-containment zones. Our healthcare workers really are heroes. According to as yet unconfirmed reports that are trickling in just now, a hospital in the city has been known to giving a 10% hike to all staff members, while yet another prominent cancer hospital has issued a 30% pay cut. So the jury is actually out. The SII, or the Serum Institute of India, said on Tuesday that it plans to produce up to 60 million doses of a potential vaccine against the new coronavirus that is under clinical trial in Britain. The world's largest maker of vaccines by volume is planning to mass produce the vaccine candidate developed by the University of Oxford, which started testing it on humans only last week. While the Oxford vaccine is yet to be proven to work against the COVID-19, Serum decided to start manufacturing it as it had shown success in animal trials. In what is being seen as a daring and an altruistic move, Serum, which is a privately owned company, is not accountable to public investors and bankers, has decided to focus on the vaccine by setting aside some of its commercial projects to focus on vaccine work. Serum Institute envisages a price of around 1,000 rupees per vaccine, but the government would obviously be providing it to people free of charge. The CEO, Adar Poonawalla, said that Serum is planning to spend about 400 million rupees on making about 3 to 5 million doses per month, and he also added that the government was willing to share some of that risk of expense, but nothing has been finalized yet. Another one bites the dust. The COVID-19 pandemic has taken its toll on real estate industry. The future of the millions of workers who depend on the sector is in danger. The lockdown is estimated to have lost nearly 1 lakh crore rupees already. In addition to this, projects worth about 60 lakh crore are currently in developmental limbo. With about 12% of the country's workforce engaged in this sector, a hit will have far-reaching repercussions both on the people and on the economy. Reports from the property brokerage firm Anarok say that the development of around 15.5 lakh housing structures in almost 7 large cities in India is stopped midway because of the lockdown. Analysts also say that even if these restrictions are lifted, work cannot be resumed immediately. Market experts are observing the developments with caution. Now, so far we've heard reports that the coronavirus was not affecting women as much as it was men, but according to the data released by the UN Population Fund, the ongoing lockdowns and major disruptions to health services during the pandemic could leave about 47 million women in low and middle income countries unable to use modern contraceptives. Now, this means that there are estimated to be 7 million unintended pregnancies in the coming months. The agency estimates that the number of women unable to access family planning or someone who's facing unintended pregnancies and gender-based violence and other harmful practices could absolutely skyrocket by millions due to this crisis. Now, this news shouldn't come as a surprise because earlier this month, Mary Stopes International has warned that travel restrictions and lockdowns could have devastating effects on women as they struggle to access healthcare services such as safe abortions. Just last year, 32 million women used contraceptives provided by Mary Stopes, which is now calling on governments around the world to include reproductive healthcare on its list of essential services. Veteran actor Rishi Kapoor, who wowed the audiences with his lead role in the 1973's blockbuster hit Bobby, has breathed his last today. His death comes a day after his D-Day co-star Irfan Khan passed away, also of cancer. The actor, who returned to India last September after undergoing treatment for cancer in the US for almost a year, was again recently admitted to the HN Reliance Hospital, where he was said to have passed away peacefully at 8:45 in the morning today. In the news from the flip side, we've had Australian cricketer David Warner making a TikTok video about the popular Telugu song Buttabomma, the response to which has been tremendous. Even actor Bunny has expressed extreme happiness about this particular move. That's all from us for now, but stay tuned for more updates and more importantly, stay home and stay safe.